Health Underwriting Explained, Insurance Exam Prep. Question 1. Which factor is generally more critical in health insurance underwriting than in life insurance underwriting? Age, gender, morbidity, probability of sickness, mortality. Health insurance focuses on morbidity, sickness, and disability rates, whereas life insurance focuses on mortality, death rates. Question 2. What is the primary concern for a health insurance underwriter? When the insured will die. Protecting against adverse selection and assessing the frequency and severity of illness/injury. The insured's investment strategy. The beneficiary's income. Health underwriters must predict how often an applicant will get sick or injured and how much it will cost. Question 3. How do pre-existing conditions affect individual health insurance underwriting? They are always covered immediately. They may be excluded, result in a higher premium, or cause denial, subject to ACA regulations for major medical. They reduce the premium. They only matter for life insurance. Historically, underwriters heavily scrutinized pre-existing conditions. Note, ACA prohibits denying major medical based on pre-existing conditions, but it still applies to disability, LTC, etc. Question 4. Which factor is unique to health and disability underwriting compared to life insurance? Occupation, income, the applicant's current health, age. Income is critical in disability underwriting to ensure the benefit doesn't exceed earnings, preventing malingering. Question 5. In disability income underwriting, what is the relation of earnings to insurance? A requirement that the insured earns a minimum wage. A provision preventing the insured from collecting more in benefits than their pre-disability income. A tax formula. A bonus for high earners. Insurers limit benefits to a percentage, example, 60 to 70%, of earned income to provide an incentive to return to work. Question 6. Why is occupation so important in health and disability underwriting? It determines the tax bracket. Different jobs carry different physical risks, affecting the likelihood of injury. It determines who the beneficiary is. It dictates the grace period. A construction worker has a higher morbidity risk than a desk clerk, which heavily influences disability and accident rates. Question 7. What happens if an insured changes to a more hazardous occupation after a health policy is issued? The policy is cancelled immediately. Benefits may be reduced to what the premium would have purchased at the hazardous risk level. Nothing changes. The premium is refunded. Under the change of occupation provision, stepping into a more dangerous job usually results in reduced benefits if a claim occurs. Question 8. What happens if an insured changes to a less hazardous occupation? They can apply for a premium reduction. Benefits are halved. The policy is void. They must buy a new policy. The insured can notify the company and request a lower premium based on the safer job classification. Question 9. What is an impairment rider or exclusion rider in health insurance? A rider that pays extra for severe injuries. A rider that entirely eliminates coverage for a specific pre-existing condition, allowing the rest of the policy to be issued. A rider that covers all family members. A rider that guarantees renewal. If an applicant has a severe bad back, the insurer might attach an impairment rider excluding back injuries to issue the policy at standard rates. Question 10. Does an impairment rider increase the premium? Yes, it doubles the premium. No, it actually allows the policy to be issued at standard rates by excluding the risk. Yes, it adds a 10% surcharge. It is illegal to use impairment riders. By excluding the known risk, the insurer doesn't need to charge a higher substandard premium. Question 11. What is the purpose of a probationary period in health insurance? To give the insured time to pay the premium. To establish a period, often 15 to 30 days, before coverage for sickness begins, protecting against adverse selection. To review the agent's performance. To allow the insured to cancel the policy. This period prevents people from buying health insurance when they already feel sick and immediately filing a claim. Question 12. In group health insurance, how is underwriting typically handled? Every individual takes a medical exam. Underwriting is based on the group as a whole, experience or community rating, without individual medical exams. Only the sickest individuals are underwritten. Underwriting is not allowed. Group underwriting evaluates the demographics and past claims experience of the entire group rather than individuals. Question 13. What does community rating mean in health insurance? Charging everyone in a specific geographic area the same premium regardless of individual health. Rating individuals based on their social status. Asking neighbors about the applicant's health. Rating groups based on their specific past claims. Community rating pools risks across a broad area, meaning healthy and sick people pay the same base rate. Question 14. What does experience rating refer to in group health insurance? Basing premiums on the specific past claims history of that particular employer group. Rating based on the agent's experience. Rating based on the length of employment. Rating based purely on age. Experience rating allows an insurer to adjust premiums based on how much the group actually used the insurance in previous years. Question 15. How do underwriters use the Medical Information Bureau (MIB) in health insurance to check for previous bankruptcies, to uncover medical conditions the applicant might have concealed on the application, to find out if the applicant has life insurance, to pay out medical claims? Just like in life insurance, health underwriters use the MIB to spot inconsistencies and hidden medical histories. Question 16. What happens during the free look period of a health insurance policy? The underwriter has 10 days to deny the policy. The insured has 10 to 30 days to review the policy and can return it for a full refund. The insured gets free healthcare. The agent gets their commission. The free look provision gives the consumer a risk-free period to examine the contract. Question 17. What does it mean if a health policy is issued conditionally? The agent is conditionally licensed. The policy is in effect only if the applicant's health hasn't changed between application and policy delivery. The premium is free for the first month. The insurer can cancel it at any time. The statement of good health verifies that the insured's condition remains the same as when they applied. Question 18. In health insurance, which of the following is an example of a moral hazard? A slippery floor, filing fraudulent claims or faking an injury, a history of heart disease, working in a coal mine. Moral hazards involve deceit or intentional acts to profit from insurance. Question 19. Why is a statement of good health sometimes required upon policy delivery? To prove the applicant went to the gym. To ensure the applicant's health has not deteriorated since the application was taken. To apply for a discount. It is only required for term life. If the initial premium wasn't paid at application, the insurer needs proof the applicant is still healthy before coverage starts. Question 20. Which factor does not legally influence the underwriting of a health insurance policy? Age, tobacco usage, race or national origin, medical history. It is illegal and considered unfair discrimination to base underwriting decisions on race, religion, or national origin.